Hello. So we will continue with our kind of light focus on upper body. I wish I had a better word for that instead of light focus. It's so non-committal. I just want to make sure that we are also focusing on all of the rest of the body too, kind of leaning toward upper body opening and movement and strength. So let's start on our backs. We'll need a strap, and then place your blocks at the top of your mat, just on their low height, in case you want them. Totally up to you whether that's true. Have your strap right next to you so that you don't have to fumble around and get it when we need it. Just bring your heels, let your feet come a little wide, and just let your feet fall away from each other. And maybe start with a hand on the belly and a hand on the chest. Kind of the way that we did our 10 breaths last time. We'll start with 10 breaths here as well. And once you start to settle into the breath, start to notice that little pause that comes at the top of the breath and that comes at the bottom of the breath. And at first, through these 10, if you can count while I'm talking, just notice it. Notice its length. Notice if the length of that pause increases on its own. Just noticing that space in between the inhale and the exhale. And if you managed to get all the way to 10 while I was jibber jabbering, now when you notice that pause at the top or at the bottom, intentionally lengthen it just the tiniest little bit. Just retain your breath for just a little bit longer, both at the top and at the bottom of the inhale and exhale. And for the next, several rounds of breath, let your inhale, the pause, the exhale, and the pause at the bottom all be the same length. It doesn't matter what that length is. And you can just go by feel. You don't have to go by count. But all 4 parts of the breath equal. after the next full round of this box breathing. Let all of the control go and come back to your natural breath. Grab your strap, slide your heels in, and bring your right foot into the strap. Let's bring the strap to the heel today, just to do something a little bit different. When we take the foot out of it, the calf isn't quite as involved, and we can kind of see what's happening a little more clearly in the hamstring today. Yeah, maybe start at the ball of the foot here just to see how that feels for a breath or two. And then slide it down to the heel. And just that little shift just makes things so different when you take the foot out of it. And then with your left leg, you can send your left leg out long. And instead of the sort of up out to the side, over to the side, the Supta Padangusthasana that we normally do, we'll start with circles today. At first, really small little circles drawing on the ceiling. And once your leg has kind of adapted to that, or has accepted that that's what we're going to get up to right now, start to increase the size of your circle. And continue increasing the circumference here. To as big as you want to, as big as you're comfortable with, and as big as is interesting to you. So maybe you do wind up kind of all the way out at the side and all the way across. Feel free to kind of roll up onto the hip or out to the side to accommodate these circles. Just kind of however you want them to be. They can be big, sweeping, swooping things. They can be little concentrated things. You can stop wherever there's feedback that you want to hear more of. Just however you want these circles to be. I'm just kind of being curious about those pops and cracks, if they don't hurt you, and if there's just any funkiness about them at all, maybe make your circle smaller. But don't stay in any weirdness. Don't be curious about the funkiness. If it makes you a little bit like, I wonder what that weird thing is. Maybe be less curious about that. And come up into the center. Slide your left heel in. If it was out, bring your right foot down. First, start at the ball of the foot on the left side. Get a few breaths here with this full back of the leg. And slide it down to your heel. Notice the difference. Send your right leg out long, and then again with just the smallest little circles. And one leg may really enjoy this, and the other one might not enjoy it as much. Without judging that, just kind of noticing that. And then once you're ready, and once the back of your leg agrees, maybe the circles get bigger. Slowly spiraling out a little bit bigger. Unless you've found something, found a pattern that you want to stick with. And maybe you notice, this is what I'm noticing on the left side. This does not make a circle. There are all these little hitchy places that stop it from being a circle. It's really kind of more like a square with round edges than it is a circle. It's not terribly surprising because it's my left side, and my left side has always done some things a little bit differently than my right. Has always been a little less compliant. Just kind of exploring all of those areas. And we'll stay for several more rounds here. I try not to rush through the second side. Seems like the second side will often get shorted a little bit. We'll try to stay and give everyone equal attention. Maybe one more round wherever you are. And once you come into center, you can get rid of the strap. Pull both knees in, give them a hug. Maybe a little rock side to side. Be aware of where your blocks are in front of you, and we'll rock and roll up into standing. So if you want to take a few for momentum or a few just because it feels good, start to rock forward and back. And when you're ready, as much as you can without hands or without crossing feet, come to standing. And we'll send arms out and up. And pull hands into heart center. We'll inhale up. Soft knees, long spine, hands to the blocks. Even if you're already prepared to put hands down on the mat, just let them rest on the blocks. And let your knees be real soft.
And let your chest kind of rest on thighs. Let your head hang. Couple breaths here. Inhale up, halfway lift. Then exhale down. Inhale up, all the way to standing. Exhale, interlace fingers behind you, right index finger in the front and right thumb in the front. Inhale, lift the chin, soften the knees. Exhale, fold. Release the hands. Find a breath. Sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hands behind left thumb and forefinger in circle in the front. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, fold. Release. Find a breath. Arms out to the side. Inhale up. Exhale, hands down and behind. Interlace your fingers however you like. Fists down, chest up, elbows back. Soft knees. Exhale, fold. Maybe linger just a little longer with fingers interlaced. Shake the head no, nod the head yes. Release your hands to your blocks. Step back to your tabletop and we'll keep hands on blocks. And let knees come a little bit wide. Send your ribs to the right, to the bottom, to the left, up to the ceiling and around. A couple times. And switch directions. These big barrel rolls. Moving through the biggest circle that you can. And then stop in neutral. Bring your blocks a little out to the side. Step your foot through between the blocks into your low lunge. Press through the front heel. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, right arm underneath. Find your eagle arms. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, unwind, hands to the block, back toes turn under, straighten your back leg. Step forward into your forward fold, hands still on the blocks. Left hand stays on the block, left knee bends, right fingertips reach up. Find your bind, slide your hand behind you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, right hand down, right knee bends. Inhale, left fingertips up. Slide your hand behind. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back into your low lunge. Left foot stays forward. Press through your left heel. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left arm underneath, eagle arms. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to your block. Come back into your tabletop and back into your child's pose. So slide your blocks with you. Bring your elbows to your blocks. And let's see, which way? I think they kind of
I don't know if it matters too much. You can kind of tilt them away from each other. Bring your elbows to your blocks and then let your chest sink down. And maybe prayer hands to the nape of the neck, thumbs kind of reaching toward the nape of the neck. 2 full breaths. And noticing even here, this little space between the breaths. Make your way up. And I think we're done with the blocks. You can just have them handy if you want them later. Turn your toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Knees soft, pull the hip crease way up and back. And step your right foot through between your thumbs, press through your feet, come all the way up into crescent lunge. Exhale, right arm comes underneath, eagle arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, humble. Just let your whole right side chest rest on the leg. Maybe the chin comes down between the upper arms. Unwind the arms. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, hands down. Step back into your plank or to your tabletop. Lower all the way down onto your belly and into your Makrasana. Let your forehead rest on the back of the hands. And here at first, these first few breaths, do nothing but notice that little pause where you're kind of suspended between the inhale and the exhale. Where nothing's really happening, or it seems like nothing's really happening. Though that's the space where transformation happens. Bend your knees, feet come up toward the ceiling, rock your feet side to side. Little windshield wiper action from hip to hip. You release your feet down, slide your hands under your shoulders, peel yourself up and back through your tabletop or through your plank and into your downward facing dog. Full breath. And step your left foot between your thumbs. Inhale all the way up into your crescent lunge. Left arm comes underneath, eagle arms. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, humble. Maybe the head drops. Maybe it doesn't. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands frame the foot. Step back to your tabletop. Come to seated. And if you want to slide a block under your sitting bones, you can do that. Let the backs of your hands rest
on your knees and let your eyes close. And here we'll settle into 10 rounds of the box breath. No need to add a count here. Just going by feel that the inhale, the pause at the top, the exhale and the pause at the bottom are about the same size. Might take a few rounds just to get that rhythm. And either stay until you've reached the 10 rounds of breath, or release that breath now and make your way to your back. Bring your feet nice and wide, toes even off of the mat. Arms out to a Y or to a T, and let your knees fall to the right. And just kind of let your legs land where they land. Unless that's weird on the inside of your left knee, in which case take care of yourself. Just kind of let everything be heavy. And come up into center and let it fall to the left. Same deal about your right knee now. Support it if it needs support. And come back into center. Let your legs come long. Settle your arms down by your sides. Let your eyes close. Let your natural breath come. Go in and in. Be the space between two cells, the vast, resounding silence in which spirit dwells. Be sugar dissolving on the tongue of life. Dive in and in, as deep as you can dive. Be infinite, ecstatic truth. Be love, conceived and born in union. Be exactly what you seek. The beloved singing yes, embracing yes, until there is only essence, the all of everything, expressing through you as you. Go in and turn away from nothing that you find.
stay for a little while longer. I'll let you know when it's time to move. And start to find some movement, yawning or stretching or rocking knees from side to side or your head from side to side. And when you're ready, make your way all the way to seated. And when we inhale together, we'll stop at the top and retain the breath just for a tiny little bit before we exhale, hands to heart center. So inhale up, pause, and exhale down. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace.